How does that land, Leo? That
Pretty.
you're flirting.
Oh. Well, I see what you mean when you say that. I think I just am fairly like coming in a kind of somatically activated mood. So it's just like very smiley. Um,
Automatically activated. Could you be more vague, please?
I just did a lot of
Because
weightlifting and sauna and then a very cold plunge, and now my system is like flooded with dopamine. So maybe I react, more strongly to things.
maybe you should go hit yourself with a hammer.
Right on, you're intentionally being perverse because you want to
Does
see
she
him.
look? Does she look like I'm being perverse? I'm not doing this for you. I'm not doing this for Jochen. I'm not doing this for anybody else but her. And she knows that. She's not stupid.
What dance do you want to evoke in connection with Leona? Hmm.
Mm. A lotus.
Yeah, see, double eyebrow raise. She thinks it's a soft opening. I hope it's not. I hope fire and anger and rage and rusty saw blades. I hope that comes out. That
I'm
that
forward
that
for it.
soft girly thing, boring. To me, the piercing is like I really want to make a statement, but I'm afraid.
Oh, you should have seen my face like 15 years ago. It was covered in piercings. This was I took them all out, and at some point I was like, no, actually, I want to have one. Well, two.
Why?
Because I really enjoy the
Where's
aesthetic.
the second one?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not an
exactly.
emotional
You
flirt,
see,
right? So,
you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say
but
that.
I did
Well,
because it's
two.
true.
Hmm?
I kind
Oh,
of did.
there's lots of things that are true that you don't mention. Come on.
Mm.
So in your languaging, Alton, what's she looking for?
To be bloomed.
She's looking for a spanking. She's looking for something that'll fire her up.
New
Looking
She
for
challenge.
doesn't want to relax, drift away on her dopamine.
Hmm.
Hmm.
From last week, it takes a lot of very skillful being with and also like very particular tickling to evoke Lena and have it that you set up a lot of the table for that. And there are things that you track that I want to learn more of and how to bring that more into dances in our day to day.
Okay, so you can see the same pixels I can see. Your screen may not be as big as mine. I like my screen big so I can see the micro expressions easier.
Mhm.
mm.
And so she's showing up. You're seeing the same pixels I am. You just don't. You probably don't interpret them the same way I do. I'm going to tell a story that she's big, she's powerful, she's not seen very often, she's not danced with enough in her fire. I'm going to tell myself those stories and orientate towards her in that way to see what kind of response I get.
Mhm.
Now, you, on the other hand, are going to look at her and think that she's some poor little defenseless waif who needs explaining to and who needs lots of safety words and la 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 la. You couldn't possibly physically strike Leona.
Over Zoom.
No, in person.
Ever?
Alton wouldn't. I would.
How do you create that in a context where you can attune to whether somebody wants to be struck physically in person.
You have to try it out a bunch. It's like developing a forehand in tennis. You can't just magically make it appear. You have to be willing to send the ball 9,000 different ways. I've been slapped a lot. I've had red wine thrown on me in restaurants. You know, it's not guaranteed at all. But look at that, Alt. Would you want to spend 3 or 4 years training so you could get that kind of face looking back at you? Yep.
What I'm here for and what I'm creating, and also ideally less than 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. What's the fire you're offering her?
We experienced last week after
Right now.
I'm offering her now. To be honest, I'm still setting up with other people who need the link for this. And
yes. And it would be really nice if you told her that. And you said, Leona, as much as I want to pay attention to you, as much as I want to get horribly distracted by that, I've got some other commitments I need to do while that. So believe me, nothing would please me more than to swim in that you are. But I got to do this other stuff first. She feels met. She feels seen. She feels valued. She feels valued in a way that she wants to be valued. And she's seeing you do it on a public platform. No takey backies. Yes, Leona, you have something you're going to say, or you're just going to sit there and smile?
I'm kind of just sitting in how uncomfortable I feel being
Good.
centered like this, but I was like, that's good. Yeah, it's like, this is exactly what I came here for. I'm very uncomfortable. Yeah. And anything I would have said would have been kind of like deflective or trying to,
Yep.
you know.
Or you could choose something that wasn't deflective to say.
Like what?
Oh, yeah. Really? Honestly, with all that huge intellect of yours, you can't think of anything to say that would be different?
Yeah, I do feel somewhat paralyzed in this situation, to be honest.
I know, but I mean, for God's sakes, you're a grown woman. You used to have multiple piercings. You used to not give a shit about anybody.
Yeah,
And here you are on a Zoom call and you're paralyzed? Really? What could possibly be happening in your head such that the strongest part of you is don't move, don't say anything, don't smile, be paralyzed. And you're like, okay, I'm paralyzed. It's like that's ridiculous.
Positive attention. I am uncomfortable with it. I want to deflect it, but that's not something
You're
I actually
such a
want to do.
liar.
I'm not.
No one looks like you or dresses like you that doesn't want positive attention.
I'm not saying I don't want positive attention. I'm saying I'm uncomfortable receiving it.
Oh, bullshit. Good girls don't like to receive positive attention or some such
Yeah, because
crap.
that's still in there. I'm uncomfortable.
I know. Stop letting it run you.
Yeah.
I like the attention. What kind of attention is it that you like? I like being told I'm beautiful. I like being told I'm striking. I like being told that I'm challenging. Oh, no. Let's not be authentic. No. Let's hide.
I'm making these noises. It's good. Like, it's horrible, but it's good.
Horrible, but it's good. Yeah, a line behind that some more. Why don't you? It's horrible. Okay, it's horrible, and I'm going to do this. No, it's not horrible. It feels good.
I think it would feel good if I didn't have those patterns, but I do have them still. So right now I'm kind of in these conflicts.
Why don't you try going to acting school and acting as if they weren't there?
Okay.
Been spanked enough yet? No bruising. Rosy, but no bruising yet.
No, I'm still good.
Yeah.
Hi, Coda.
Hi. It's so nice to see you when you're not surrounded by a bunch of men.
Yeah, it feels very different.
Yeah. Hmm.
But also my head feels much more vulnerable because my face is like right there. I did not realize the difference in that. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's better that way, actually.
So once again, Leona is playing to the small part of her. It's horrible that my face is so big on the screen. Oh my goodness. Shut the hell up.
And I said it's different. I consider it more good than bad
Oh, really? Why is that?
because people can see my micro expressions and call me out better.
Oh, yeah. God, we want you
Me for
calling
my
yourself
piercing
out.
stuff, you know, like offers like much more high resolution possibilities for being poked.
Why don't you just poke yourself?
I do.
Not here.
Well, I mean, last time I tried.
Trying doesn't cut it.
You have to be it.
This is Coda talking.
Be the thing I really don't feel comfortable being, or the thing that like makes me go like, yeah, okay, just be that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can stop being a racist. Alton could actually learn to speak. He could interrupt. He could say something that would flame you.
I've had the suspicion for a while, Prey, that what you're actually doing is like Alton interruption training. You're coming to these calls until Alton is actually capable of interrupting you 50% of the time, and then your job is done.
I hope so.
That's been the school this whole time. Just to interrupt Craig.
Leona, just as an experiment, is there a moment in time where you feel like you're in fire, where you feel comfortable being in that?
What in time? Sorry.
Is there like a time in your life, an experience that you've had where you have felt yourself in your fire?
Yeah. I would say the strongest ones are probably like in like the throes of romantic connection, like could be like intense talking, could be sex, could be that, and also eye gazing meditation. Like
Let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
What would it be like?
Let me interrupt you.
What would it be like for the rest of the call if you entered into the feeling state of a romantic partner going down on you, and you just brought that energy to the room and how you were with us for the remainder of the 2 hours?
That's not a good one. That's not a good one.
Why?
Because that's definitely not the moment where I feel most of my fire.
Okay. Can you give me
No. That's not the moment I feel most of my fire. She's already identified where she feels most in her fire. You don't have to ask any more leading questions. Where do you feel most in your fire, Leona? And what you're going to do is that you're now, Coda, I hope you're bringing it. Leona, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to identify it. You don't have to own it. Just be there. Pretend that you're there. Bring it into your memory. Set your alarm for every 15 minutes because you'll pop out of it. And every time that buzzer goes off, do something fiery.
I don't have my phone.
Oh, not that your computer has an alarm on it or anything. Dakota, you're trying too hard to be the font of wisdom.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
One thing about these moments is they happen one-on-one. As soon as there's a group involved, it becomes way harder.
That's your story. Try to stay in the feeling.
Yeah, I'm just naming that as a factor.
Doesn't have to be.
Maybe not.
Gray hates me.
Wasn't that positive? No.
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, I, don't know Korean language yet. That's positive.
You may not know the language, but you know the feeling, Leona. And you're not doing it. You're still not in fire.
Hmm.
See, yeah. You're not, oh my God, he sees it. Shit, oh God, cover it up. Yeah.
I'm practicing.
Now, if you want some practice, ask Leila the next time that she's going to be in hang and come to hang, because she's a fucking bitch on wheels. How's that grief doing, Leo?
Horrible.
Try again. How's that grief going?
It sucks.
Try again. How's that grief going?
I fucking hate it.
Try again. I'm trying to get Leona to step away from her fear of igniting everybody with her fucking fire. Now I have you who's like, I don't like my grief. It's consuming me. It's being me, but I can't stand it. I hate it. It's bad. It's awful, rather than embracing it. And if you start griefing, you better pull the fuck over, young lady.
You have a strong preference against driving while we're on live here.
Oh, okay. Bye.
And welcoming
Like my choice matters?
Oh, I mean,
Way to give away your power, Leila.
fine. I'll wait till I get kicked off if I do.
Like you're going to get kicked off.
Precedent of being complicit with people driving while doing this work seems not healthy for this ecosystem.
Then she dies. We'll have a good story to talk about. We were sitting here and all of a sudden there was this big crashing noise and we got this weird flipping thing. And then she was dead. She actually died. She was impaled.
Wow.
And I said, we have 3 laughing people, and we have 2 people who are like, it is politically incorrect to laugh at the idea of Leila dying.
I don't think that that politics gets into it.
She's a grown woman. She gets to make choices with her life that she wants to make. I don't have to like them. If I don't like them enough, I'll get off the phone.
I mean, it involves the lives of other civilians that she could also.
Yep, and that is her choice.
And my choice to be complicit in keeping her in the room.
You're not keeping her in the room, idiot.
By not choosing to remove her, or to at least verbally.
No, you're choosing not to remove her.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
for now.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Playing to people's smallness again.
Alton, can you be bigger, please?
Can you be bigger, please?
There's
Great.
some nuance here
Woman-splain
that
him.
Ray's bringing in, and I'm learning about what his criteria is to see if it's actually different than mine, or if he's just saying the same thing in different words.
Oh, look. Coda's doing the zombie move. That means what? How's that fire doing, Leona? Oh, Leela's grief seems to have vanished. Gosh. And that was such a serious grief, too. That was like deep into her belly, maybe down into her sacrum, the grief, the agony. Wah, 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 wah. And there
Of
she
all
is.
humanity and the planet, the grief
Yeah.
of everything. Ah,
I'm gonna stop Leila's video. That'll be less concerning.
I feel
Good,
angry
Suki.
with you,
We
Alton.
do nothing, but we won't see it. Like the situation is still the same.
So if you pay careful attention, this is one of his coping skills.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Something threatening happens, he doesn't see it. And that makes it okay. It's still happening. She's still driving.
We're less liable to engage her, which is less liable for her to run into civilians in the world. That seems better.
I dare you to kick Nadia off.
She's not in the driver's seat.
Oh, she's in Afghanistan. It's on the other side. She's in the driver's seat.
It doesn't look like she's in a moving vehicle.
Yeah. That's her life, non-moving vehicle. Yay.
I didn't have I didn't have any service in the car. I thought I could call in as the passenger 20 minutes ago, and I just got some bars and connected. How does this affect the way I can show up?
Makes you look like a lunatic. Great.
You got the
no.
description.
You want me to randomly say 5 things, or what's the goal here?
Yes. I want people to be so upset with you that they leave.
Oh, well, I did
You
just
can-
say a somewhat like not nice thing to him, or like I did say what I thought, which was
Oh,
there's nothing.
Ooh, I think you're a bad person. Yes, you are. You're a
Do
bad
you want me to
person.
make up thoughts in order to seem edgy?
No, I want you to let loose your fire.
Yeah, it'll do that in its own time.
Oh yeah, like good. I'm so glad that it's in control and you're not. You're not at choice. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't save the baby now. I don't feel like saving the baby now. Let it burn. Yay.
So there's a sense of urgency. Yeah.
No, there's not. It's just that if you want to be a grown-up, then you're a choice. If you want to play with other grown-ups, then be a choice about it. You're not a victim to your history. You're not a victim to your character. You're not a victim to your meaning making. You get to choose. And right now, in my opinion, you're doing a shitty job of choosing.
I'd like to see it through your lens. Like, I feel like I'm pretty with myself. I just tend to not just randomly say things when I don't feel like a natural impulse to do so.
Oh, natural impulses. I'm sorry. I'm going to hang this person because it feels natural to me. I think I should hang them by the neck until they're dead. I feel like grabbing her pussy. It feels natural to me. I'm going to shoot somebody in Times Square because it feels natural to me. I'm going to be a pedophile because it feels natural and authentic to me.
Is that your general thought about spontaneous expression?
I would rather that you don't wait for a fart of a thought to ignite you into speech, that you actually say, hey, I want to do something here, rather than just taking your verbal dice and rolling them and saying, elephants, purple wizards. How's that for spontaneous, Mr. Grimont?
So you want me to just like randomly attack a person, or like would that be fire to
Why
you?
are you so concerned with what I want?
Well, because you keep talking about it.
Yes, because
Alton.
I'm interested in it. What
Alton,
do
why,
you want?
Alton, why are you being so boring and meek?
How could you
Cleaning up, inviting people.
What?
There's a couple people who said that they wanted me to message them this, like basically in this window, and I'm following up with them.
I don't care.
You're not acting out of character. You're still being blunt. You're still ripping off all your clothes, walking down the main street. You're accusing people. You're being the diagnostician. You're not being soft. You're not being revealing. You're not willing to be danced. You'd rather be the dancer. Any day, Leona.
How long have you been coming here, Coda?
I have been in and out of this space and spaces like this for some years.
How do you feel like you've changed in that?
Leona. It looks like you haven't learned a goddamn thing, Coda.
That's okay. This is what I want to know.
I don't care. Try it. Try going to acting school. Try something different that's not in alignment with your racist, misogynistic, homophobic character. She just said she's been doing this for years. Why don't you just look at her and say, looks like you haven't learned shit. See what that's like.
So even if that's not true.
Truth is relative. Who cares? You're in acting class. You're trying to find something different rather than that boring old mouse of a character that you got. Big titted, I grant you that, but still a mouse.
If I were a mouse in this character, why would you react to me the way you do?
Because your mouse is just your public face.
I think I've graduated to like small cat, maybe.
Evidence to the contrary.
No.
You can't even say the thing, Dakota.
Well, what good would repeating a thing you said do? Like, if
Try it and find out.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the work you've been doing for years hasn't done shit for you.
Okay? Feel it, Leona. Don't just say it. Feel it. It echoes in you. Now, if Coda was being open and vulnerable, she'd start crying. Because she places a lot of importance in doing the work. She's not doing it, but yes, she keeps putting herself in that place. And if she opened herself up, she would feel the pain of that statement. She could also be in acting school, but no, she's looking for the truth. And so there's an echo in there, Leona. What's the echo feel like? After you've just told somebody that the thing they think is valuable isn't doing shit for them. What's the echo taste like in you? Not the shame, not the kid stuff.
It feels like it's opening up space. Like,
any particular flavor? Space, the broad frontier where all things are possible and nothing has to be owned.
Is a flavor, or like some slight exhilaration of stepping outside of boundaries.
Try
So
this.
that's
It's fun to hurt people. Just try it. See what happens. Your head isn't going to explode.
Leona,
yeah.
you could say anything to me with as much rage as you'd want right now, and I would receive it. And it would be supportive to me if you said it with a lot of oomph, because then I'd be able to feel you.
Mhm.
Again, nothing about you.
I'm digging. I'm honestly digging. The thing is, you've been like so nice to me that it's very difficult. What the fuck are you doing? Doing this for years and not actually breaking open? Like, why are you doing that? Genuinely, what are you gaining? You seem to value this a lot. So that's why I ask him, like, what are you actually gaining? And if you're not looking where it hurts, if you're not breaking open where it hurts, then what the fuck are you doing?
Doing the same thing that you are, Leona. Pretending. Going through the motions.
You told me to go to acting school.
Yeah?
That's literally what you asked me to do.
Yes.
You're not.
And I'm attempting to feel it. I know attempting is going to get me shit again, but
I'm so glad that you're willing to take direction. What was that? What was that little exaltation there?
Me?
No, Leona.
annoyance.
I said, Leona, you like taking direction. She went, you have no idea, old man. It would fry your circuits. How much I like taking direction.
It was more of a more sense of like, in this case, I don't. But yeah,
But
I
you're
guess
doing
if the direction is deserved and competent, then yeah.
You know, if you really want to be a bottom, the top can do no wrong. Stop leading from the bottom, and you might actually find something that you enjoy doing. But as long as you keep trying to lead from the bottom, it's not going to work. You'll never get there. You'll never release.
Available that can.
What?
There's not many tops available that can actually lead. So.
No, no, you don't understand. The top can do no wrong.
Oh.
You're saying, I'll be your bottom as long as you do what I want you to do. What's the point?
No, as long as you prove that your competency exceeds
mine. Prove to who?
Or your power. Right, to me.
Why did you like that so much?
Why would I like what so much?
Why did you like what just happened so much? Because you were in a bottom space. You were actually shown that you were full of shit. And you're like, son of a bitch, that asshole is really working hard. Anyhow. Oh, Coda's got her eyes closed. She must be going internal. She must be looking for something really deep and significant. She's stopping herself from doing that zombie thing. She still has like a second of it, but she pulls her eyeballs right back. Jochen, are you bored? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm good. I'm trying to track everything and like, check things out for myself.
I want to go back to punching.
Then punch.
Well, Leona, drop the sexy. Just drop the whole sexy vibe. It's very manipulative.
It's all manipulative. You're saying nothing. Leela, if you want to say, would you please stop the sexy? You're really distracting me.
Oh, what? Wait,
Try punching yourself with your reveals.
oh, okay.
It somewhat feel like that says more about you than about me.
It always does. Feedback is always about the person giving the feedback.
Leona, would you please drop the sexy? You're distracting me.
Can you identify for me what you mean by that? Like, what's the
Oh,
sex? I can't drop my face. Is it like specific
Leela.
mannerisms?
What?
I'm
What?
wearing like a thick robe.
What,
Like, what am I
Gray?
doing?
Leona.
What? Oh,
Leona,
what?
can I meet you? I want to lick the sexiness off your face.
Would it be gone? Would that satisfy Leela then?
Leela's quite aware that
Like,
she's
lick it
putting
off?
up a lot of flack to keep herself from revealing what's true about her. So if she puts something out there in a punch, she's saying you're distracting her because you're doing the sexy thing. That's not what it is. She wants to be angry. She wants to act out her inner child. She wants to punch mommy and daddy. And you looking so sexy, whatever the hell that means, has her feeling in ways that all of a sudden, all of that anger falls away. And all she can think about is really fun stuff to do with you.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Gray,
Not really.
no, fuck, Gray, no, I want you to be right.
Hmm?
Fuck. I want you to be right, but that doesn't feel true.
Yeah,
Fuck.
good. Continue being the bigot. Why don't you tell yourself the story that it is true
Okay.
and step into that?
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Okay.
But you're going to have to give up your grief and your rage.
Ray, what did you want from Leela's grief as her ideal response?
So all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do the same thing with Leela that I'm trying to do with Coda, that I'm trying to do with Leona. I've given up with Jochen. But I'm trying to engage with whatever it is that's keeping them from a more traction, growly, passionate expression of themselves.
I think it's pretty.
Leona's gone
We're
blank.
here to practice, and I want to come closer and have clearings for other people to feel that they can come closer for this work, and that's like the coin of this realm is to take swings and to practice this.
So just so we're clear, that's my coin. Like Leona can be pretty and whatever, sexy and whatever in that way that she is. I'll lose interest really quickly. It's just pretty sex doll stuff.
Right. And so I want to create more effective clearings for Leona to step into that. And that requires some amount of resource and challenge in balance with each other. And I imagine if you're consistently hitting the challenge or the sledgehammer frame, then she won't bloom.
Right. That's the difficulty. But you have to hit her hard enough to where it. Oh, yeah, you better cover that one up, Leona. You better cover that one up.
What did I just do?
Leona she has a smile that I imagine that when she's doing temple work is seen a lot, but in the public realm, I don't think it's seen a lot. But she knew it too. She knew it was on her face and she covered it up. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can see myself, yeah, so it's.
Why would you turn away from that?
Well,
why would you hide that?
I'm being kind of, poked at as far as like just the expressivity of my face goes and flirtatiousness and being sexy
Yep.
And so I feel like, okay, then I get a kind of a smile at something that's related to that. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna get poked again, right? So I cover it up.
Yeah, but you don't.
And also because it feels like
You don't cover it up, Leona.
I mean, I've worked hard to like not have my face be a just marble plate that's completely expressionless. It was that way for a very long time. Now things that I feel actually come through to the surface, and I want to keep that. This is a thing I like about myself, and if that comes
Why
out,
are you covering it up?
um,
Trying to cover it up.
well, I was somewhat trying to fulfill Lila's request of like downplaying the sexy or something. And like if
Oh.
wearing a robe and just like fucking sitting here doesn't do it.
So Leona's desires trump yours. Okay.
The what?
Leona's desires trump yours. They're more important than yours.
Lila's desires.
Yeah, somebody's desires. Yeah. Leela, yeah.
Hi, Justin.
Oh God. Really?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Right.
Welcome.
Thank you. What have I missed?
You're here now, so everything's fine.
Oh. Is this your invite, Coda?
No, it was a triad invite.
So she's going to become bait.
Yes.
I already am bait. I get the impression that I already am bait,
You are bait.
but
You are. Thanks for joining me in that.
I decided to show up for it anyway. Just
It's okay. Breathe.
Leona, do you think she has any fire? No. Make sure to be polite. Make sure to answer in a way that doesn't deeply offend her. And only answer at a level 2. Don't go to like 8 or 9.
3 out of 10 fire.
interesting.
Interesting. Good masculine response.
Yes, I was considering showing up. My plan when I heard about this gathering was to try to show up open-hearted and vulnerable, and I was told that was a terrible idea and that you would hate it and that this is not a space for that. So I'm working on not being vulnerable here.
If you have openness, that's welcome. Now,
Okay.
openness is good. What was the other thing you said? Vulnerable? Vulnerable is idiotic.
Okay.
Vulnerable, you're expecting pain. Openness, you may be getting pain, you may not be getting pain.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
And what was the other one?
I don't remember. If anyone else does, it's fine.
What is happening, Leona?
I was thinking what you said, and open-hearted, I think was the other thing.
Yeah. If you have if you have an adult, if you have a feminine heart, by all means. Instead of the flaccid things these other women have. But
if I have an open heart, what is a feminine heart?
Strong, supple, gives birth to babies, kills people that are threatening. It's not afraid of showing up, fiery. It's not stupid. If showing up fiery is actually going to get her killed, she probably won't do it.
Get her killed, why?
Well, if you go down to a biker bar and and your heart is like, you guys are all, mama boys who have, masculinity issues and intimacy issues, and it gets you killed, probably not a smart idea.
Right. This reminds me of a question I had. I was listening a little bit on my phone when I was on my way up on the elevator, and I heard you say—
Which floor?
29, thank you.
Oh, 29th.
Yes, I was also told you
29 out of how many?
29. It's 29.
Oh, you're on the top floor.
I am on the top floor.
Was there music playing?
There was not. There's
no music playing. Carpet?
No carpet.
Oh. Anything else you'd like to tell us about this story of you?
There is a calendar on the wall. I can go through the dates if you want. And what was listed on each one, if that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. I know. I'd be like, okay. You were saying that the top can do no wrong. And what you just said it's going to be very difficult for me not to explicate, but I'm going to really try. What if in situations, I think in a space like this, it's fine. But I know that sometimes when people are trying to experiment with their feminine energy, it's about accepting everything. Something in me comes up that feels protective that says, but not everything. Like surely, like you were saying, we have to like have boundaries that are like not letting ourselves be
You
violent.
always have the safety word. You're always at choice.
Oh, I don't mean in here. I mean in the world.
No, I mean anywhere. You're always at choice.
Okay.
If you're playing a scene, there's a safety word.
There should be.
There should be.
Mhm.
If you're not, then you're an idiot.
I would agree.
So even though I'm sitting here, I say to Leona, stick your finger in your ear. And she says, that's ridiculous. I don't like it. I'm not going to do that. If she's saying that the top can do no wrong, then she puts her finger in her ear.
Mm,
Or she pulls the safety card.
got it.
You don't have to agree to it. The whole practice about being a bottom is letting go that you need to understand. That you can just be the thing that's happening. It doesn't make you stupid. Doesn't mean that you have to eat ground glass. Doesn't mean that you sit there with this vacant look on your face, waiting to be ordered about. Yeah, oh, there's Leona again. You should have hidden that one too.
Why?
Oh my goodness. What was that?
That's the question.
Yeah. Even Alton heard much more than just the now you're doing it. So what does what does that feel like?
The moment it feels relaxing, or it feels more like a letting go than a doing of something.
There's that eyebrow again.
What did it do?
Your right eyebrow went up.
Oh, yeah, it does that.
It's a conscious, it's a signal. It's not a twitch. It's a voluntary action that says yes.
I haven't seen it as that, but maybe it is. Wait, it's this one? Does this one
Your
go up?
right eye. That's your that's your right
I
one.
just saw this one go up, but this is the only one I can go consciously.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Leona, you just deepened the whole space. Hmm?
I was not aware of that.
Look around. Feel around. Of course, Leela's dead. Yeah, that's okay. Impaled by a sign.
What am I?
else?
Didn't get to see it.
So, Leona, be real slow here, please. Wow. That's what you're looking for. And I can't tell you how to make that happen. I think that with me, it usually happens when I play the bad daddy, but I don't follow through with any. Like I push really hard at Leona, and every time I pushed it, or I pushed, held my hand there, and then when it was done, I took my hand down.
My mood might be different. It's
I
not
hope so.
gentle, but it's not the same flavor as yours.
You have no idea what my mood is. Not one. You have no idea, Leona. You have no idea. Let's just leave it there. May I, Leona?
Yes.
Did you ever see Apocalypse Now?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where he's talking about the pile of children's arms? The United States came through and inoculated all these children in the village. And the communists, the North Viet Cong said, no, cut them all off.
The
And
arms-
Brando said, that's amazing. Now, do you really want to be able to look at the things that normal Leona would recoil in horror at and say, that's amazing? So that's a yes, Leona.
Yes.
Now you got to live into that. That's an extremely difficult place.
Mm.
If you guys want to walk that path, eventually you have to do that. You have to do the things that your primal character says, this is unconventional warfare, this is wrong, this is going too far.
Mm.
And Leona, it's not just doing the thing, it's embodying. You can do a whole bunch of things and not feel it at all. I think you're pretty good at that.
Definitely was.
Was.
Still can be. Yeah, I'd rather do fewer things and feel them. Maybe not go all the way. Nah. No.
You just haven't found the right partners.
The right what?
The right partners, the right dance partners.
That's definitely true.
There's not a lot of them out
No. I find like bits of them here and there.
there. Careful. Leona, be careful. Be cautious. Move slowly. This is not a time to throw everything off and go prancing around naked or nude. Take it slow.
Yeah. Interesting. You were
And-
coaxing me. Now you're telling me to go slow.
Yeah, because you took the invitation. Now we're somewhere. We're somewhere Josh can't go. Coda likes to think she can, but she can't. Holton can't go. Jochen can't go. Leela's the closest, but she's still a little bit too wild and woolly. I don't know who this person. Oh, yes, yeah, Yastin. I don't know. She's on the 29th floor in Chicago. She has something going.
Justin,
I'll call you what I want.
you can.
See, so Leona, she has the same thing that you do, except hers isn't as thick as yours is. Which I think would mean that she's actually in the place that we are. She's at, to me, she's a smaller animal than you are.
What's the thing?
What's what thing? She wants to be a carnivore. She wants to be met.
Mm.
She wants to meet people in carnivorous activities.
Mm.
A lot of trauma, childhood trauma, Leona?
Yeah. Decent amount.
So I would practice not having your voice go higher, not minimalizing it.
Mm, yeah.
Nothing you have to hide. It's nothing you have to parade. It's just something that was.
Yeah.
I don't think that Justin, why the hell did they name you that? I don't think she's had your level of trauma.
And how does that manifest outwardly?
She's she hasn't had a lot of piercings.
So if I didn't have a piercing, you'd read me as less traumatized, or?
Piercings are a way of localizing the trauma. Making it smaller, making it able to be dealt with.
You don't think they can be an aesthetic choice at all?
It can, but very few people come from that culture. You know, like they say, cultural misappropriation. There's scarification. There are monocultures who have a whole thing about that. But most people in this day, in this culture, don't come from those cultures. They're out there.
Justin.
Surely there's something more interesting than a piercing that you're seeing. That's different on our surface.
I dare you. What do you think I'm seeing? What is it that you're seeing, Leona?
I don't think I would be able to just look at someone and be like, you've had a lot of trauma and you have not. So that's why I'm asking you. But what I am seeing in Justin is a sweetness, or I don't want to say innocence, but like a goodness that wasn't born out of pain, but a goodness that was born out of having been treated well and having learned trust.
Yeah, but how do you see that? To me, she's more plastic.
What?
Her facial armor is more unibody. It's like she's got one here, one here, one here, one here, two here. You've got like 16.
Justin. I want to hear about your pain.
No, you don't. You want her to talk about it. You've already heard it.
Yeah. I want you to talk about it and I want to feel it.
Any like specific pain? Like what are you looking to feel?
I'm imagining
So
that you're
the
feeling
danger now is that you're the authority figure.
Me?
Whatever she's going to do, no, not you.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
I was like,
You're going to be the authority figure now. And she's the abused kid who is responding to what the authority figure wants her to do. You have to practice leading your questions. You're trying to get them to open up, not to dance the little jig that you want them to dance.
Justin, I'm imagining that you feel misrepresented right now. And I would like to hear you talk about
Shut up. Justin. Okay? You oversold it. Yes. You didn't let the meat come out. Now you're just a plastic little bimbo who shows up with nice cheekbones and relatively nice hair in a relatively nice apartment in Chicago. And everybody's missing you.
That happens.
Right?
I know.
Yeah, well, it happens a lot because that's what the strongest part of you wants to create.
Yeah.
So now you have an opportunity to correct that.
Hmm.
What do you want us to know about you? What do you want us to experience about you?
Hmm.
Think about it some more.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you, I will. So that's a brat. That's a bratty sub right there.
I guess I do feel misrepresented, but I don't feel surprised or like it's anyone else's fault. I feel like I understand that there are.
Are you going to answer the question, or are you going to tell us a story about what Coda said?
It's very difficult for me to answer questions without stories.
Wah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I want
Then
you to know.
fine, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Go back to being plastic. Be cute and in the corner. Leona, get used to it. You're going to be here and nobody is going to see you. Nobody's going to taste it. Nobody's going to smell the spice. Okay? And you have to get used to that.
Saying this now.
I'm saying this now because to me, you're about as fragrant as it gets. In a real embodied feminine female way. And most people can't see that, sense it, or taste it. Allie is still obeying her chiropractor's demands that she sit up straight and keep very, very still at all times.
Hello to you as
Great.
well, Craig.
Great hair.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it.
Here we are. Come on, Alton. Jump on in and save the day.
I'm interested in seeing how Lana interfaces with Hallie and Axios as they share about their upcoming Dragon Academy work. I have a Leona's stance and Lilith Justin could be great for getting more people into this work by taking on this and embodying it, especially as they're relatively new to this space. And I have it that they're running programming that I strongly endorse. And I would like to see more of that in the world. This container's design is an opening for that. And the last, hours or so. And that's what I'm here for. Then I'm interested because I have it that
Coda, why don't you just say it out loud? Why are you texting that? It's like you're hiding behind a fucking wall. Come out. That's what you've been doing this whole fucking call. You're just hiding behind a wall, trying to get people to be vulnerable, but you're not actually showing yourself.
I feel so angry hearing
Let's
that.
go. Let's go. Bring it. I want to hear it. I want to feel you. Let's go.
Mm. It
Does
feels
that work with the feminines, Axios?
Let's find out, Cray.
It's been 20 seconds. How much longer do you need?
Just about to start.
Cray, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and watch.
Great. Have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like if you continued to yell at me, I'd probably crack open and cry.
Okay.
Ugh.
What are you feeling right now, Coda?
Grief, anger, annoyance, self-pity, violence.
I'm most excited with the violence.
Ooh.
Yeah. Will you go there? Will you come out? I'm here with you. I'm on your team. I want to see the violence in Coda come out.
I have a story that if I go there, that I will be abandoned. And so
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't.
I'm glad that you see it's a story. I'm glad that you know it's a story. Do you want to continue living that story, or you here for something else?
I need a minute or I'm gonna cry.
Okay. Actually, I get this. I hear the story that it's not okay to cry right now. I imagine it's deeply vulnerable to do that in front of 9 other people. And I'm here with you, and I want to be with you in that. And actually, if you want to go to a breakout room, I'd be happy to go with you there.
Yes.
Coda, will you go with me to a breakout room? Will you go? I want to be with you in what's here.
We can try it on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
How
Cray,
much
shoot us
smaller
up.
are you going to get, Coda?
Shut the fuck up, Cray.
Yeah,
Stop.
don't listen to him.
Why?
Don't listen to him. Alton, will you take us to a breakout room?
Okay.
Burger rooms are open. Both
All right.
join room 1.
Room 1.
Why was that so painful for you, Cray?
Because he's mansplaining. He's having her take direction.
Well, you have people take
setting the
direction.
space for. I know, but I'm an asshole.
So you want to be the only asshole in the room?
No, if you're doing it from a good place, you're falling into, oh, he's going to be a good daddy.
Oh, so bad
You're
daddy's
giving
okay.
them. There's nothing for them to push against.
Okay.
There's nothing for them to push against. They get to fall back. Did you see how small she was? By the time she left, I feel like crying's bad.
Why is crying small?
It's not. It's if you could see Leona cry, you could see Allie cry. That's not small. That's huge. Okay?
So Dakota's a small crier, or Oxio's
because
danced
she's
her into?
small and she's like her feelings are hurt and she's. Allie's gonna cry when she's punching your lights out. Leona's gonna be fucking you up the ass with a dildo that's way too big. She's gonna be crying tears of joy at your pain. Something like that. Now, if you want to do inner child work, that's fine. Axios is great at this. And in my particular, ballywhack, inner child work is a kindergarten place. You graduate from it. You hold your little inner kids out over the cliff and you drop them. They are not the boss of you. They are recordings. You get to step into your adulthood. You are not them.
So the correct dance move when an inner kid comes up
It's
is to find a cliff?
correct. Stop it. There's no correct move. If you're young in the game, then when an inner child comes up and it doesn't have any new information from you, by all means, go and do the IFS stuff. This is like trying to do something different just to do the different thing. That's like 5 or 6 speed bumps. After that, do something different that's in alignment with the person you want to be. Stop doing this just because it's the only thing I can do. Stop hamstering. Every time you hamster, you should cut off an ounce of flesh. You would stop doing it really fast.
What's hamstring?
Josh used to do this thing called hamstering. He would get so reactive that he would throw himself against a wall and then slowly slide down it as a mark of how powerful he was being moved.
Is this a literal or
Yeah,
energetic?
you do that in real life?
In real life, I would be sitting here, there'd be a wall behind him, and he would get thrown back against the wall, and he would slowly slide out of view.
Wow.
Can you demonstrate?
In my defense, I had a standing desk at the time.
There's no defense for this, my friend. There's no defense.
Now I have a chair and I sit like a proper gentleman.
No, you don't. If you had a proper gentleman and there were these kind of ladies in the room, you'd be sitting up straight.
Straight occasionally.
I don't know. I would like to practice more of this work in this world, and I'm wondering what's in the way for you.
Me.
Yes.
Oh,
I was just feeling into kind of a sort of sadness at well, I had a little roadblock where I was like, oh, I feel seen. Is that real? Is that real? But then mostly like kind of just a sadness at like how often that doesn't happen. And then also it's kind of cheap to feel seen when someone is saying good things to you, right? But there's a
Well, if you would bring those other things out, Leona, maybe we could see them.
What other things? The bad things?
The quote unquote bad things. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Justin nodding her head sagely.
I was thinking of how it applies to myself.
Leona, what do you want to be seen in?
I want to be seen in like I think my capacity for holding can be love, can be pain, can be its intensity, like in a sense like I'm not fragile. I have a sense that yeah, I do want to run against walls. I do want to be pushed against. I do want to be tempered with fire and tempered with fire. And it feels like just I'm in a world where everything is fucking baby proofed and everybody treats each other like babies. And that's just kind of the expectation. And
Any day, Leona, stop baby proofing yourself.
the thing is, as you just said, there's not very many people in the world that can
practice
here. And
practice.
so if I anti-baby proof myself and I just go around in the world, I'm gonna break shit.
And
And I'm gonna
this is a gym, Leona. This is a gym. This isn't real life. This is a place where you can practice.
Yeah, I want to empower you to practice so poorly that other people like me can't help but feel compulsed to be like, oh God, not like that. That will look terrible.
Ugh. Don't want to do that, so that probably means I should. But there's like I don't feel like the path ahead is like meanness or just being like, aggressive and try to hurt people because like, ooh, that's what feels edgy to you. Like that feels like stupid pretend games. Like that's
Until
not
you can be okay with your capacity to be big and strong and fiery and powerful. Now you lock that up when you were a single digit child. It's going to come out messy. But that's the point of practicing in a gym. So you can sit here and you can say outrageous things or act outrageous. Nobody's head is going to explode. You're not here to employ anybody here or be employed by anybody here. What's the real world consequences? Somebody on Facebook sees you being fiery.
Well, to be fair, a recorded container is probably not the ideal place to practice this kind of thing.
Well, then why don't you ask somebody to go into a room with you where the recording doesn't take place?
Would you like to go in a room with me?
No, stop that. Pick somebody.
Oh. Josh.
Oh God,
Room
Hamster
two.
Man. Hamster Man, yeah, he's like room 2, hot babe. Room 2.
Let me get my Diddy lube.
Yeah. Room 2, go away.
Don't see a breakout room.
It's on you,
Well, she's still here. Oh, now she's going.
Ellie, how can I support with sharing more of your work here? I'm specifically interested both in Justin and Leona's stance on it because they're relatively new to this and I have it that they are ripe and willing to take this work on.
What were you looking for from me, Alton?
Last night I asked how you like to be played with. And I'm interested in finding ways to increase the surface area that Allie can play with you in exactly the ways that you like to be evoked. And I have it that she has a set of practices and tools that she and Axios are sharing in a program that I'd like to get a flavor or taste of in this container. And to set the table for that, given your willingness and what I've seen so far in connection with you.
You're asking me to do an exercise with Allie? Is that what's, sure. I don't know what that means, but sure.
Alton, she's highly intelligent. She doesn't understand what you're saying. You need to work on your spiel.
He's encouraging us to dance.
What does that look like?
I usually love to start dances by just taking the other person in. I feel curious what brought you here.
An invitation. I have felt myself be energetically constricted, and I'd want to be less so, particularly for the last few years. And I miss the level of energetic openness that I used to have. And I'm struggling to get back in touch with it because my body's trying to keep me safe, I assume. And I thought that perhaps from what I know about a space like this, that getting to have a space where it would be okay to be messy and where the consequences might not be so catastrophic if I am hurt, might be good.
At my first immersion with Cray, I was going through maybe some kind of similar unlocking process. And there was a guy there who told me he was really scared of me and thought I might kill him in his sleep. And I remember just feeling very devastated, like, oh, this is kind of the worst case scenario of what happens if I let myself unbuckle, let all of the things, the ways that I've been clamped down start to unfold. Fortunately, Cray and was there to kind of to help facilitate and moderate moving through that energy. But I can understand that feeling of there being a risk to the unfoldment process and not being sure like exactly what's going to happen if you start undoing the buckles.
And I feel like it's mostly not logical, but that doesn't matter, like I can know it, but it doesn't change it. So that's why, yeah, I think a space to practice it's maybe I could.
What makes you feel the most alive?
Usually it's a intimate connection, the chemistry and movement that happens within one.
And you have a or you don't have it?
I have, sorry, I don't have a, like, do I feel most alive right now?
No, the question is more like, do you feel, well, I guess my first question would be is, do you feel intimate with yourself?
I feel pretty intimate with myself, yes.
Do you feel intimate with others around you in your day-to-day life?
No.
Does it feel scary?
I guess I share, like, I do feel like most people lack the capacity, which is probably arrogant and, exceptionalism of me, to think that I'm that either difficult or intense or deep or whatever. But I don't think that most people's version of intimacy seems to be the kind that I crave. And so I've been trying to practice just like, doing things that other people seem to like doing to build more friendships and relationships. And I'm doing them and they're fine, but they don't light me up. Like I'm not on fire. it does, I guess, feel scary as well. I'm sure I'm terrified. Like, I'm sure I'm terrified. I'm sure I'm absolutely terrified. I am absolutely terrified. Yes.
If you could trust that I can manage my own nervous system regulation and my own capacity, so you weren't worried about that, how would you dance with me if you wanted to invite intimacy into this space between us?
I feel like I'd love to know like what the options, like what that could look like. I've heard people say the term dancing, but I don't really exactly know what that means.
Mhm.
Can you explain, like, is there something that's like supposed to look like? What could that look like?
Sure. Well, one thing that just came to mind for me is it would feel, it might generate intimacy to tell each other things we notice about each other, things we find beautiful or attractive, or curiosities we have or desires that come up in relation to each other. It could be like a little bit vulnerable or
Sure.
touching it.
You could try. I'm down to try that. You want to go first? I'm trying to figure out how to make Zoom go full screen so your face is bigger, but I'm not used to it.
I think you do. There's
Hover over her icon or hover over her square, and then on the top right, there's 3 dots. And those 3 dots, there's a pin.
Found it. Thank you.
Oh, that is much better. Good idea. Hmm. Hmm. Now that you're bigger on my screen, I'm really noticing the softness of your lips. You go next. We go back and forth. Anything you notice, feel curious about, or desire?
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to articulate. I feel curious about your energy. It feels like it is, the word's not sharp, but that it is, that there is a distinctness to it, which I like, but also like a kindness with it. And I'm sort of curious to see which side of the spectrum you would move more towards over time and how you move back and forth between them.
It's so interesting to hear you say that because I feel attracted to your softness. Like I love the way the light is really gently hitting your hair. And I'm imagining us as like puzzle pieces of like clarity and definition and softness, kind of like coming together in a happy embrace or something.
My turn.
It is your turn, but I do have one for you if you let me go twice.
Yeah, you can go twice.
Um, what do you fear in relationship to me or to anyone? What's something you fear in this space?
In this specific space, I am afraid of not being able to prevent the masking that happens involuntarily for me sometimes to get to a space of genuine presence and open-heartedness. Is there anything you're afraid of?
Mm, It's small. I tend to have like a background pattern of needing to perform. It's been getting quieter since I've drawn attention to it over the last year or two. But there's a sense of like wanting this to go well or something, or wanting it, I don't know.
I'm noticing a sense of feeling like I am taking like kind of too much space up in this sort
Right.
of room. Like, I don't know if this is something that seems like people go to breakout rooms, if you want to do that, or if like, how, does anyone else, like, does anyone else want to get involved in anything? I don't know. No? Okay.
Ah, okay, so there's like a, yeah, there's like a feeling of taking up space and having the spotlight on us. And everyone else is just sitting and watching us dance with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want. Yeah.
That we've designed a dance hall here to share, and I want to share one of my favorite dances in the world. And you're like, oh, we should go in a private room. And I'm like, well, I have this entire floor, and my intention is to have more of this work more readily available in the world. And see the attunement that LA attracts, and what is able to be bloomed just in and with you and your receptivity in this work.
Heard. Thank you.
What if it was their greatest pleasure to watch two beautiful women dance?
Hmm. Then I'd probably feel a little uncomfortable too, but in a different way. That's something that yeah. I want to talk less.
Thank you. Would you like to take a few breaths together?
Okay.
I feel like a little bit of excitement, a little bit of aliveness, a little bit of, yeah. This
Me
is
too.
fun. Thank you.
Thank you for engaging with me. I appreciate it.
Who would you be if your energy was not constricted?
Huge.
You'd be so huge. You'd have a Zoom room filled with 1,000 people just watching you dance.
Oh God.
Do you
Yeah.
love that idea or hate it?
Just a little icked by it, but I'm sure that's something shadowy that I should engage with.
What is the relationship to attention being on you?
I think that I've never been shy. I've never identified as shy. Quiet, but not shy. And most people probably would be shocked that I even identify as quiet. So I think I have a sense that if I show up, I know attention will be on me. And I don't always want it to be.
What happens when it is?
Sometimes good things, sometimes not, but sometimes I just don't feel like being perceived.
Where's a place where it would be of service to your community for you to show up and be perceived and be seen in the bigness?
I don't know if I know of like a singular place at this moment, but I do have a sense that the amount that I have withdrawn and isolated myself is not healthy for me or for the life or the world that I think that I would feel most satisfied in living in. So that is something that I am aware of wanting to press into, and actually have been practicing pressing into on a day-to-day. And it sometimes feels good.
Can you share one example with me of a time that you pressed in?
Well, this isn't exactly bigness, but I have a neighbor in my building who seems to have taken a liking to me, and I'm not sure how I feel about him yet. And normally that would make me really sort of withdraw myself and press back for not wanting to lead someone. And I am letting him adore me.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Day by day, day by day. But and not feeling bad that like he's a grown man, he can take care of himself. It's not my job to protect his heart for him, you know? Like if and just letting like whatever moments that we have together, that's okay. I was raised like very conservative Christian, where the idea was if you even liked someone else other than your future spouse, you were cheating. So I'm sure there's a lot of programming there of like, oh no, I'm leading, I'm no longer religious, but leading someone on, and trying to be like, I also mentioned this to Alton briefly. I think there's an Alan Watts quote said the meaning of life is just being alive. And I've really been like, this moment, like, what if it's just this? Like, even if you and I never speak again, what's the beauty in this moment? What is the texture if I can be really present here?
I love the way that you're leaning in. What do you feel when he's adoring you?
I experienced moments of resistance. I got a very long text this morning about how wonderful I am and all the ways in which I'm, whatever. And I felt a moment of my heart kind of be like, oh, just because it was nice. But again, I don't know how I feel about him yet. But when I let it in, when I stop and when I let it in, and I like that. It does feel good. I feel it now.
Me too. It's juicy. It's like a flower blooming. Ugh.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Great timing.
And I
Wow.
just completed an exercise and showing some a taste of this work.
That's really fucking shit up.
I'd love to hear some of what happened in your breakout. Your smiles say a lot.
What says a lot?
Your smiles.
Oh.
What do they say, Alton? In your opinion?
Feels well played and fuller. And
Fuller?
well played and fuller. And Josh experiences like tantalized, and he has a certain like prideful face when he's practiced well and evoked new sides of people that I imagine that they are surprised with to discover even in themselves.
Okay. Now, Leona, what does your smile mean? You're next, Josh.
Yeah, definitely like lightness or like some sense of release. It was I found a way to access anger by pretending that Josh is my brother, and yeah, just was like angry at him for a bit, and then you would not have liked this, Cray, the anger. Like we actually like started connecting. I kept being like very, very harsh and poking at him, but wasn't exactly angry anymore. I was just like breaking through his walls. And Josh was a great
Are you
support.
being sarcastic that I won't like that?
Well, no, I mean, I thought you might not have liked that I stopped being angry. But I guess I didn't stop poking, so it's, it's fine.
So you were doing something that you've accused me of doing, and you got results that you liked.
Wait, I've accused you of poking?
Me poking you
Oh yeah, I mean that
to
wasn't
get
actually
things that I like.
just a description.
How about you, Josh? See if you can give it a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Sorry, give what a 4?
What does your smile mean? See if you can get a 4.
Oh. I got a taste of Leona that I hadn't gotten before, and it's like some sense
That's
of
a
like
2.
all right, good starters. And then she was really attuned to the dance. It felt like we were actually doing a well acted scene. And I don't recall being as good of an actor as I showed up in connection with her. So it was like new sides of myself and new sides of her.
What number would you give us on your darkness scale there, Josh, about why you're smiling?
Oh, that would have been like a 1.5.
Oh, okay, good. There you go. Nothing like honesty and authenticity and being at the edge of your box and trying something different.
I'm going to give you my default response.
Oh, yes, there we go. Oh, you mean you have to be reminded not to give your default response? Yay.
A few times, yes, there are speed bumps.
Wouldn't you like to try being something different?
Yes, yes, I would.
Intellectual.
I would love to turn my brain off and just go primal.
Okay, so try it. As best as you're able. It's pleasure. It's a smile. Okay. You're not trying to be politically correct. You don't care what's happening. You're at this point. Later on, you'll care. But right now, you're just trying to not to be the goddamn hamster. What are you smiling about after having come out of a room with her?
Good.
God,
good fuck. Good yum. I could see her receptiveness and how I can continue building trust with her in ways that I can later abuse.
So you're done? You're going to stop at 1.8?
I gotta laugh. You think I'm gonna hit a higher note?
Yeah, you could shock her.
Okay.
Not abusive.
Not abusive.
But shock her.
Shock her.
She knows the effect that she has on adolescent masculines. She knows this. It's not news to her. But how can you phrase it in a way that she's like, oh, that was interesting.
Phrase what? I think I've slightly left my body as like a
yes.
Don't let it go darker response.
Yep. You know that cartoon thing where the characters sort of gets overstimulated and they bounce around the room from like wall to ceiling to wall to ceiling? Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
To me. You were just in a room with that.
Mm-hmm.
And she liked you. And you had a good response with her.
That's generally what happens in breakout rooms.
Fine. Yep.
Okay. All right. Point
Go
again,
to a breakout room with Jokin. Do what you do and see if you come out.
Okay, I stand like corrected.
Freaking
you stop, Gray. You win. Okay.
This is the craziness. This is the craziness. He's authentically in this place. He knows this place. This is the crazy. He can't say it. It's not that it's in a language he doesn't know. It's not that he hasn't gone into the locker room and said, no, but he believes that there are different types of people and they should be treated differently.
This is also being live streamed, so it's not a locker room.
So what?
It doesn't need to be crude though. Josh, can you look at Leona and like tell her what it was like to be in a room with her?
Yes.
Don't make it about her, you idiot.
Okay. The way you opened up and danced me. Fuck. All right.
Pin her image so you don't see Cray. Make her bigger.
Yeah.
So you see her.
Pinned.
And find a way to say thank you to her for the dance, and that will also help us all get a flavor of what it was like.
Thank you for pushing into me in ways that let my walls down. It was like the more I let you in, the better it was. And that, like getting that taste, I now want to bring more of that into my life.
Can you describe the taste a little bit more? Was it her skin, her softness, the caress? What was the flavor that you enjoyed so much?
It was like permission to feel something. It was like
It was her cock, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ.
It did feel like she was like inside with me. What language I would have used was like she like cut past my wall and without me having to leave it, she was in there with me.
My mistake. That I was completely wrong.
No, I'm not saying you. Okay. I
have a much better flavor. Thank you for penetrating Josh, Leona.
Indeed.
I didn't know I was doing that, so thank you for letting me know.
How does it feel to hear him say that?
Well, I went through like a whole journey there. At first, I was like pissed, not at Josh. I was like I was
How
pissed
does it feel hearing him say that?
Yes, I had other things I wanted to say. How does it feel hearing him say that? It feels opening, like feels kind of like something like landing in water in a soft way and like dispersing. Like it feels like filling and opening. I also feel like I learned something about myself, about you. And yeah, grateful.
Do you have much experience using your cock?
I think probably yes. I wouldn't have conceptualized it as that.
Enjoy that. Is it something you want to do more of?
Well, ideally, it's something that I'd like to be done to me, but in the absence of that, I'm also happy to do more of it, yes.
The modern
I'd
woman.
like to do both.
I said the modern woman struggle.
Yeah.
It is real.
It is real.
But I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see kind of that way of being or that way of feeling like have an effect and open up others. Feels really good.
Do you want to experience being penetrated by Josh?
Penetrated in the way that we're talking about right now?
Yeah, energetically.
Yeah, for sure.
Josh, are you capable? of switching roles with Leona and giving her what she wants?
Believe so.
Please.
Not here. Please don't make me watch hamster sex. Please, I'm begging you.
Hooray!
I'm begging you.
I'd like to not do it now because I'm also very curious of how this group ends up and what happened in the other
What
group.
happened with them? All right, all right. Me too. Good call. Welcome back.
Hi.
Could you share a few words, give us a texture, a flavor of your world right now?
Um, I just feel like trembling.
Why are you hiding your face with your scarf?
How old are you right now, Coda?
I'm not gonna give you age, but I'm growing up.
Oh.
My God.
Coda showed the fuck up on our call. She showed the fuck up. She's extremely vulnerable. She opened herself.
Her kid is vulnerable, not Coda. Stop letting her self-identify with the IC. That's not your job now. In there, fine. But out here in the world, she's a woman. She's an adult.
I absolutely
Is she
agree.
acting like an adult right now, Axios?
Instead of
What,
you two?
what, okay, the way that you're coming at her with anger right after we come out of a very vulnerable space.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Who am I
supportive what
talking
she's saying.
to? Am I talking to her child?
Are children the only people who can be vulnerable? I don't.
In my world,
Craig, you're speaking as though it's not okay to be where we are. You're
I
making
have
it
an
not fucking
opinion.
okay. Great,
I
I disagree with your
have
opinion.
an investment in Coda.
Great.
I have
and
an investment.
I'm
Okay,
really
I'm
happy.
protecting my investment.
You're protecting your investment. Okay.
My investment.
Just
Oh,
don't
so you're owning her. This is
I
ownership
know,
language. What the fuck is that, Cray?
Do you know what an
fuck is that?
investment is, Axios? That's seeing something and thinking that there's potential there and doing your damnedest to do what I think is the best.
Great.
That's my opinion.
Okay. And what's your point?
And I'm looking over at Dakota. Sorry. Oh, she's back to Dakota. Hooray. And I'm seeing a child. That's fine. That's not in alignment with my opinion. I'm allowed to voice my opinion. I'm allowed to fight for what I think is right.
I agree.
And if she wants to kick me in the balls, by all means. She doesn't need you standing up for her. Her child does. When you're in a session with her, you best be fucking backing up her kid. But she's not there now. Drop it. Be a man, not a therapist.
I mean, Cray, I do feel you're doing exactly what you're accusing Axios of, but it's neither.
Of course I am.
Neither of your opinions are really very interesting. I'd love to just actually hear from Coda.
Yeah, but Dakota, would you want? We're really interested in your opinion now. So now that the men have stopped arguing, why don't you give us your opinion? We'll create some safety and some space for you.
Your opinion. I just want to share the space with her that she's in.
Why don't you let her take it? Who gives you the right to decide who gets what in this space?
I'm actually caught up on this idea that adults can't be vulnerable in your sort of ideal setup. What is then? I haven't known.
Vulnerable is expecting that you're going to be hurt. I'm not saying that you can't. It seems stupid.
Right.
You can be
Okay.
open.
Okay.
Mhm. I would say in his definition, when I got back into the room, I was definitely in my child. I would say that right now I'm in my adult.
Good.
You still feel open?
Do I still feel open?
You seemed like when you came back, you had a sense of openness that in the short time I've known you, I haven't gotten to see too much of. I don't know what you show with others, but I haven't gotten to see too much of it. And I was excited about it.
Justin, be
bet you
careful
were.
how you define open.
I said it seemed, so I
Right.
don't know.
I'm not, just write it down.
Okay. How would you,
Open, what does that mean?
do you have a suggested definition?
Yeah. Look at it as how do children show up and how an adult would show up.
You think an adult should show up as open?
No,
versus-
I think an adult will show up differently, open, than as a child would be. A child can be open to like the glory of God, is innocent. Adults are pretty jaded, you know? And it's like, I can listen to what you're saying, and I have experience behind me. I'm not going to negate my experience.
Mm.
I can listen to what you're saying. I know, I've known Axios a long time. I'm expecting him to kick my ass in a little bit, okay? Either here or in the other world. That's fine.
Craig, every once in a while, even I want to interject, but then again, I have to laugh about it because, like, it's just so damn funny.
What is funny?
It seems like some kind of argument is going on, but I don't think it's any real points. It's just like bickering or something.
I know that Cray wants to have like the throne wrestled from him, and I have an interest in having everybody here be so loud and burn in their practices that Cray experiences himself as a spark that helps start this, but no longer having and holding the spotlight. That's going to take a lot of something and many more years, maybe more months. I don't know.
Allie, I don't
Yes.
want to drop you, but if you actually are interested, I would like you to ask me a specific question.
What was your experience of listening to Cray and Axios argue over you?
I felt pretty empowered. I also felt defended and protected. It definitely elevated my self-worth for just a moment.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hack it down, Dakota. Hack it down, make it real. This is an okay place to be. Not some place that I would wish for you to hang out forever.
Mm-mm.
But it's like, holy shit, this is real. This is going to be happening. This can actually feel good.
Mm-hmm. I would say that when I'm practicing instead of explaining, I do tend to feel really good, even if there's pain involved.
Would you practice?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That's why I asked.
Dakota, may I?
Swing ahead.
Justin, that's not enough coin. Your simple interest is not enough coin. You're going to have to put more on the table if you want an answer.
Hmm.
Flirt, Dakota.
Did you just tell me to flirt?
Yes.
She gets enough of that from me.
Well, try it different. Make it be about the value of what you are rather than what you can do.
Yeah, I'm noticing in this moment I don't have a desire to do that. I'm a
I don't
no.
care.
I know you don't give a fuck, but I'm
Why are
telling
you
you.
telling me? Well, I don't give a shit what your desires are.
Yeah, I'm interested, but I don't feel like a need to sort of like plow past a boundary or resistance because I don't know what went on and if it's not the time to open it right now, which is why I wasn't.
It's not a plow. You're not giving me any coin. You're just like, tell me about it.
What does give me coin mean? What does that
There's
mean?
there's no value in me answering your question because of how you're asking it.
Hang on, Dakota.
Sorry, I'm getting
Justin.
angry.
Yeah, I know. Justin, all relationships are transactional. If you want somebody to do something, you have to pay them something that they value for them to do it.
Okay.
All
So you want me to
relationships.
flirt with Dakota.
She said you could give her $20. You could give her, a chili hot pepper. You could say, I really love you. You know that. I have shown you my dark secrets. Now you got to show me yours. I don't know what it is, but you're looking at it and you want something, however low level that is.
Mm-hmm.
And your job is to put enough coins on the table, however you do that, such that she gives you what she wants, what you want.
Great.
That's what we do as human beings.
You share with us a personal example for this of how you practice this?
Yeah, you can look at Leona. Yeah. I wanted her to open up. I wanted her to show me some fire. I wanted her to be more present in a way that I wanted. I'm a selfish old man who knows what he wants. I figured that if she got spanked, that she would consider that enough of a stimulation so that she would give me what she wanted, even though I'm an old fat man living on the coast of whatever it is. Whatever she thinks about me, is that I'm going to do whatever I need to take such that I get what I want from her. That's what we do as human beings. It's nice to know that somebody is sitting across from you. Leona and I know of a certain space where it's very real for it's the jungles of Apocalypse Now. Okay? She's been there, I've been there. This is a story I'm making up. Okay? We've seen some ugly shit. Okay? She's watching me work really freaking hard to get what I want from her, that she wants to give because it's an interesting dance for her. But she's been burned and colded too many times. And she's actually kind of grateful that somebody's actually willing to work that hard to reach her there. Jokin wants to be slowly seduced, and he wants to be seduced through his intellect. So he writes a lot of very interesting things. He does not want me mentioning his tight little ass.
Mention away.
Yeah.
Justin, do you want to try again?
I was trying to decide if I wanted to try again. I honestly, I'm pretty catching myself explaining again.
Justin,
say no.
let me give you a tip, Justin. Are you open to it? You open to some advice?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
Yeah, figuring it out, trying to figure out how to do it is not going to be how you do it.
I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do it.
Okay.
I think right now, I guess I'm a no then, if I don't know.
Not guess, just stand on it.
I'm a no.
Okay, your loss.
Oh, what a bitch. Thank you, Leona.
Thank you.
I'm annoyed at Dakota now.
I know.
Okay.
Bring it.
Are you smiling when you say it?
Why am I smiling when I say it?
Yeah.
Can I go?
Smile.
Corey, is there any last homework you'd suggest I
For
want to take
who?
for myself? I want to have this as a movement be held by other people like Ali and Axios and Josh and other friends who I see like who are also leading retreats and taking this work on. And I can connect people in this way.
Be clear about what you're offering.
Mhm.
Justin, you explained to Justin what was going on, and she's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I wrote a pre-description as well, and I'm hearing just needs to be better. So do recursive improvements on that.
Yep. Ask people. Don't try to figure it out yourself. Be clear that Ali and Axios are doing insanely important work. It's not what I do. So it's fine.
Alton, sorry, Cray wants to leave.
Oh, fuck off.
Alton, my suggestion would be, I think there's only so much that and I think most human psyches can kind of handle at once when there's particularly like different language. Just try to simplify. Just sort of try to use language that someone who's never heard any of these terms before would be able to follow, if possible.
If possible. Are you a lawyer?
No, but I was always told I'd make a good one.
It's not a compliment.
Uh-oh.
Never has been.
Okay, I heard simplify and ask for feedback consistently.
May I, Leona? I'm asking your permission.
Said yes.
Get rid of the piercing. Both of them.
See about that. I'm less attached to one of them than the other, but I really
It's less attached to you.
I'll think about it.
If you're going to jump, don't try to do it halfway. Get rid of them for 2.5 months and see what happens.
Trying to see what your piercings are. Trying to see your piercings. I can't even see them on my camera. Oh, okay. Thank you.
There's one visible.
What time does this call go to?
It's been over for hours.
Okay.
Can I go?
Yes, Corey, you can go.
Thank you.